Hi, my name is Jean-Pierre Ciotta, and my presentation is on the French Revolution. The French Revolution began in 1789 and ended in 1799. It took place after the American Revolution. The common French people were inspired by the American Revolution and with the people advocating self-rule. France was seriously indebted to the support of the colonists of the American Revolution. It was overthrowing the British monarchy-controlled empire which inspired the French people toward self-governance. France was poor and people were starving, while the royalty, nobles, and clergy lived a lavish lifestyle and never paid taxes. This angered many of the people in the Third Estate because they were starving and were the only ones paying taxes. The actual government was poor and in debt from the two major military adventures. France wanted to shrink the British Empire. The conflict of the Seven Years' War in Europe, also called the French and Indian War, helped drain the wealth of France. During this time, the common people were starving as not enough grain was being produced. The peasants were not happy seeing the king and queen and the nobility continuing living a life of wealth and luxury. The peasants worked for the nobility, giving them food from their crops and also paying the taxes. There was also the era of enlightenment, which was a movement where authors, poets, and philosophers started thinking that they didn't need the king's nobility and priests to rule over them, tell them what to do. The state of France was in crisis, so they decided to have a convocation of the states to resolve the problems. The first and second estates didn't want things to change because they were getting benefits from it. The third state, common people, wanted equal representation leading up to this meeting. All the states shared the desire for fiscal and judicial reform, but the nobles didn't want to give up their privileges. The rise of the third estate began to mobilize support for the equal representation and abolishing the noble veto. They wanted to veto by head, not by status. Um, Many hostilities erupted between the three groups, and the Third Estate decided to meet alone in a nearby tennis court and took the tennis court of oath. They vowed not to disperse until the constitutional reform had been achieved. At the same time, the common people of Paris were panicked because of rumors of an impending military coup. There was a hysteria and revolutionary fervor. On July 14, rioters stormed the Bastille fortress. The Declaration of the Rights of Men of the Citizen was adopted by the Assembly. It was a statement of democratic principles grounded in the philosophic and political ideas of Jean-Jacques Rousseau. It would replace the ancient regime with a system of equal opportunity, freedom of speech, popular suffrage, and representative government. In 1789, the guillotine was invented. It was used for executions no matter the rank of class. The National Constituent Assembly had a challenge for drafting constitutions. By September 3rd, 1791, France created its first written constitution. It was a constitutional monarchy in which the king was able to enjoy royal power and the ability to appoint ministers. Austria and Prussia were declared war on by the newly elected Legislative Assembly on April 1792. Later, the Legislative Assembly was replaced by the National Convention. This proclaimed the abolition of the monarchy and the establishment of the French Republic. King Louis XVI was sentenced and executed by the guillotine for high treason and crimes against the state. So did his wife Marie Antoinette 9 months later. After the king's execution, war with various European powers ushered the French Revolution into its most violent and turbulent phase. On June 1793, Jacobins seized control of the National Convention, including the establishment of the eruditions of Christianity in the new calendar. The new calendar was weird. Each day had 10 hours and each hour is 100 minutes. They also unleashed a bloody rage of terror. It was a 10-month period in which its suspect enemies of the revolutions were guillotined by the thousands. Robespierre carried out most of the killings. He was nominated the Draconic Committee of Public Safety until his own execution on July 28, 1794. The Public Safety Committee stuck to protecting public safety. Robespierre's death marked the beginning of the Thermidorian reaction, a moderate phase in which the French people revolted against a reign of terror excuses. The National Convention was composed largely of Floridians who had survived the reign of terror. They approved of the new constitution that created France's first bicameral legislature. The French Revolution is over. Beyond, Royalists and Jacobins protested the new regime but were silenced by the army that was led by the famous Napoleon Bonaparte. On November 9, 1799, Bonaparte staged a coup d'etat. This was abolishing the Directory and appointing himself France's first consul. This event marked the end of the French Revolution and the rise of the new leader, Napoleon, in which France would dominate much of the continent Europe. The impact of the French Revolution reached other countries with the help of Napoleon's invasion. The Code Napoleon was used in all the occupied countries. The existing rules designed to protect nobility and clergy got removed. The concept that everyone is equal in front of the law changed the way people lived. It initiated movements that allowed racial and discrimination segregation to end. France became the country that inspired the rest of the world in new ideas and new reforms. Thank you.